Hello, once again. Welcome to OpenRose, an free and open source requirements management application. Find more information about the same at github.com/openrose. So in this video, we are going to talk about how to upgrade your version 0.1.00 that you must have installed in network location in Internet Information Services or IIS. So let's consider that in my environment, I have the first version or the first 0.1 version of OpenRose installed in IIS. So I'm just going to go over to my Internet Information Service where I can see OpenRose API and OpenRose Web UI, which are two separate applications installed. They both are listening on two different ports in my IIS configuration. As we know, the OpenRose API is talking to the SQL Server database. In this instance, all these applications are installed on the same computer, but you can actually install it in different computers or deploy the application OpenRose on completely three different servers if you like. So you can have your web UI on one server, API on another server, and SQL Server somewhere else on third server. Okay, so first thing I need to figure out where is these applications or internet sites being pointing to in my file system. So I can just simply go to explore and we can see, let me bring the window here. We can see it's all deployed in C, inetpub, www root and OpenRose API. And same is the case for OpenRose Web UI. It is also available in the same location. Now, Web UI points to API and then API points to the database. So first thing we have to do is to make sure that we upgrade the Web API as well as the Web UI as well as the API. Now, Web UI has app-settings.json, which actually points to where is the API. If I open this particular file and bring it over here, then we can see it's pointing to the API using the base URL address, which is the local host. And this is where the API application is running or the website is running. So what we need to do is just to be sure that we keep our settings and environment after performing the upgrade, we're going to take the app settings.json over into the downloaded files. So let me show you that I have already downloaded the latest version, which is version 1.2-243. This is actually the internal updated version where I have made a small change to one of the script, but you could download version 1.2-243 for which the release is available here on the internet. So if you go to github.com openrose and releases, you will find the latest version here. So we are talking about downloading these two zip files. In my case, I'm using the latest Windows operating system, so I'm just going to use x64, but it's possible to deploy on x86, i.e. old environments. And most of the customers are going to use x64, so I'm going to use these two zip files which I have already downloaded here, and I've extracted them here. So let me go into the API or the Web UI version first, and then, as you know, inetpub, www root and OpenRose Web UI, this is where the app setting file is present. I'm just going to copy that file over into my downloaded location so that I don't misplace it. I'm just going to just bring all those configurations here. And the second file that I've downloaded is the API. This is where we have the app settings.json file, and this app settings.json also should be copied over from the API folder. So let me just go grab app settings from my current installed location over into the download temporary location and replace the file here. Now we have SQL Server in this particular environment. My SQL Server is on the same computer. So let me just show you in my system environment variable. I'm just going to bring this screen over to this window. We have the environment variables, and this is the environment variable that I'm using, which is connection strings __ items contacts, which is pointing to SQL Server on my local computer, which is named Bagheera and /SQL Express. So that's the information that I wanted to show, that this is the current server details, which is where I'm pointing. So I don't need to make any changes to the environment variable. I'm just showing this information here for demo purpose, that in my particular case I'm using environment variable to override the connection string settings. What I mean is, in the temporary location, the download location, we have the API application where we just copied the app settings.json file. And if I open that app settings.json file and bring it over here, you can see that the connection strings __ items contacts is by default pointing to some local database, MS SQL local database, and database name is OpenRose DB. But in my case, I don't have that particular instance. I have SQL Express on my local computer. So I'm overriding this particular string with the string that I provide here. So I'm just not going to make any change to the environment variable, but I'm just wanting to highlight here the fact about how we can override the information about the app settings. Now, with those things taken care, let's close the windows that we don't need. I don't think I need environment variable, so I'm just going to close it. Now, as you remember, we have copied app settings for both web UI and OpenRose API projects into the appropriate download location. What I need to now do is to go into IIS, stop both the application here. I'm just going to stop the OpenRose API as well as OpenRose Web UI, and I'm just going to go back to the actual not download location but the application location here, and I'm just going to delete everything that I have in the API first. So my API folder does not have anything in it. I'm just going to go to this download location, copy everything from the download, where you remember that we have the app settings, the original one that we copied over from this location. So I'm just going to bring it back to its original location along with the updated code. So my API is actually kind of upgraded now, and let's go to the web UI folder and also go back to the web UI download location, copy all the files over here. Oh, sorry, before we copy, let's just delete whatever is there in the web UI, because we have stopped the web UI. We can delete all the data there and then go back, select all, copy all the data and paste it over here. Again, app settings.json was the original one that we are kind of bringing back into the current location. With those things done, and because I have environment variable that is pointing to the SQL Server database, which is in my case is installed on the same computer, we should be okay to go ahead and start the application. Once the IIS application starts, the API actually goes into the database and updates the database schema in case if the schema needs any updates. And then here we go. We should be able to now connect to our local instance of the application. To do that, I'm just gonna go and start the local application here, which is running on port number 7673, and here we go. I'm now able to connect to my OpenRose application, I can go into settings to see the version. I need to make sure that we also include the build version here. And I now have the new feature, which is nothing but the copy available in the upgraded version of OpenRose. This is one of the important enhancements that we delivered as a new feature in the latest version. You can find more information about it here, and we can also see that the copy project item type or item is now available as a feature in my upgraded version of OpenRose. I have to do this upgrade in my network installation of OpenRose using IIS, or I might also have, let's say, the standalone version. It's very similar process there, that we make sure that we bring app settings.json file over and then replace all of the files with the latest version that we downloaded in a zip format. So with that, I would like to conclude this video. Thank you so much for your time. Please share it with others who may be benefited by using OpenRose as an individual installation, as a network installation, or as a cloud installation. Thanks and bye.